them, or
Okay.
or probably do their laundry for them. You know how it goes.
Alright, call the council meeting to order.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Vicky? Here. Chanel?
Here.
Navarre? Here. Toma? Here. Marner? Here. Wenzel?
Here.
Hoover?
Here. No statement at this time. We'll need a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported to approve the agenda. All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public statement regarding current agenda items only. Okay. Next up, consent agenda. We'll need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Support. Motion's been made and supported to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. No unfinished business. Moving on into new business. Items for introduction discussion. Public hearing for disorderly house ordinance 2025-02.
Motion to enter public hearing for disorderly house ordinance 2025-02 at 7:31.
Motion's been made and supported. We'll do a roll call vote, please.
Vicky? Yes. Chanel?
Yes.
Navarre?
Yes.
Toma? Yes. Marner?
Yes.
Wenzel?
Yes.
Hoover?
Yes. All right, before we get started, I have one minor adjustment to make to this ordinance. Under disorderly, the definition for disorderly house, room, or place, letter E, one in which controlled substances are delivered, used, sold, or maintained, should read one in which controlled substances are illegally delivered, used, sold, or maintained. There was some discussion that this could inadvertently include pharmacies, which we obviously do not want to do.
Sure.
So, that being said, does any member of the public or council have any input on this ordinance? Also, if you notice at the top, the ordinance number is wrong. Just a minor clarifier.
To the 2025-04.
Correct.
More so a question, when it comes to the alcohol, what are we actually referencing as far as beverages go?
One in which intoxicating liquors are illegally sold, given, or dispensed.
So as long as it can be deemed an illegal substance.
So, for you to be drinking beer at home, no problem. Kids have a house party, problem.
Okay.
Does that clarify it?
Yeah, I just, when you put alcohol in there, I mean, it just kind of leaves that question a little bit for like gatherings, summer gatherings.
No,
things like
I mean,
that.
that's legal.
Oh,
As long
yeah.
as there's no underage drinking.
Yeah.
Or, I think actually, if you read down in here, one in which there has been 4 or more police interactions due to disruptive behavior or criminal activity. So if your family gets shit-faced.
Well, yeah,
fighting,
it gets loud and obnoxious music
Not
complaints.
around here.
yeah, right. So that's one. That's one strike.
Oh, yeah.
4 of those in a year, and you got lights, got things.
No, because my other answer was I trust my officers to make judgment calls as well.
Sure. Any other comments?
See, I have faith in you.
Anybody?
I have none.
All right.
Motion to exit public hearing for disorderly house ordinance 2025-02 at 7:33.
Motion's been made and supported to exit public hearing. All those, roll call vote, please.
Vicky? Yes. Chanel?
Yes.
Navarre?
Yes.
Toma?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Wenzel?
Yes.
Hoover?
Yes. Having had public hearing and having had the public hearing, does anybody wish to make a motion to accept this ordinance?
I'll make a motion to accept the disorderly house ordinance 2025-02.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported to accept ordinance 2025-02. We'll do a roll call vote, please. Sorry for all the roll call.
That's okay. Vicky? Yes. Chanel?
Yes.
Wenzel?
Yes. Yes.
Losing my, sorry guys. Lardner, Toma,
Yes.
Navarre,
Yes.
and Hoover.
Yes. All right, next up on the agenda, public hearing for vehicle impound fee ordinance 2025-03. Again, we'll note that the ordinance number is incorrect on this one. It should be 2025-03, not 2025-02. And there is one minor adjustment under 11:12. There's a colon and. The and should be removed. With that being said,
What
did you see that one? It's under last page, page 2. Oh, it's actually number 12 on the right hand side. There's a colon and the and should just be removed. Okay.
Motion to enter public hearing for the vehicle impound fee ordinance 2025-03 at 7:35.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. Roll call vote, please.
Beaky,
Yes.
Chanel,
Yes.
Navarre,
Yes.
Toma,
Yes.
Lardner,
Yes.
Wenzel,
Yes.
Hoover.
Yes. Any public or council comments on ordinance number 2025-03? Do we have a motion to exit the public hearing?
Motion to exit public hearing for vehicle impound fee ordinance 2025-03 at 7:36. Can I get your name in the paper, bud? Just
Support.
Motion's been made and supported to exit public hearing. Roll call, please.
Beaky,
Yes.
Chanel,
Yes.
Navarre,
Yes.
Toma,
Yes.
Lardner,
Yes.
Wenzel,
Yes.
Hoover.
Yes.
Then the motion to accept the vehicle impound fee ordinance 2025-03.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported to accept impound vehicle fee ordinance 2025-03. We'll go roll call vote again.
Now he's just messing with
Just got to give me a second here. Get more paper. Hold on a second here. Okay, so to accept it, Beaky,
Yes.
Chanel,
Yes.
Navarre,
Yes.
Toma,
Yes.
Lardner,
Yes.
Wenzel,
Yes.
Hoover.
Yes. All right, next up, items for action. Amanda Danick is requesting the Cole Park, use of Cole Park for the annual duck race.
Hi, everyone. June 6th is the last day of school. That is when we are hoping you allow us to use Cole Park for the duck race. You need a review of what we did last year.
Now if you were there, that was a lot of ducks.
Do you have a rain-out plan, or
No.
is it just canceled if it's?
It's not canceled, we'll still do the ducks, because that's required of the Michigan's lottery licensing.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we're required to do that, so we are following all licensing through the state of Michigan. As soon as you hopefully approve this, then I will send that out tomorrow.
June 2nd.
June 6th, last day of school. Color run will be at 4, duck drop at the bridge will be at 5, and the very popular Keith foam party last year.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
That will be at 6 o'clock. So,
Make a motion to give it, to let Amanda Danny do the duck race in Cole Park
Support.
on June 6th.
Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
thank you very much.
Next up, committee reports, infrastructure.
No meeting. Be one coming up pretty soon.
All right, finance admin.
No, that's kind of.
Public safety, we met and discussed the side-by-side ordinance that we're working on. We hope to have a new revision coming soon. EDA.
We met Wednesday last. They paid bills, they discussed TIF funds, whether they do loans or grants, they settled on grants. Discussed the military banners, they're still discussing. And then Christmas lights.
They did order brackets, new brackets for all the poles to hang banners on.
Like the military, no.
All of that, yeah, anything. A lot of the brackets have been broken and they're hard to replace now, so they got a new style that should work for.
Do they know when they're accepting for the military stuff?
They didn't.
I don't know. I will get you that.
Okay. Chamber have not yet met.
They did meet,
I was there, you were not there.
Oh, that's right.
They're just going over, they're prepping for the dry try and ideas for the dry try, but that was really pretty quick meeting. Big things happening.
Planning commission.
And then, and they had a comedy show that went well. Sorry, planning commission.
Next Tuesday, 7 PM.
Airport,
Right.
airport.
Monday.
We had 23 runs since the last meeting, bringing a total of 53. We renewed the Saginaw County Mutual Aid Agreement. The board meeting last Wednesday, we adjusted the 24-25 budget, so it'll come out right, and then we set the new 25-26 budget. Training is gonna be on April 5th and 6th. Getting quotes to paint the garage doors and the entries doors, because we're getting kinda rusty in that. Golf outing is May 17th, and the next fire board meeting is April 9th.
Thanks, Phil. I would like to remind everyone that burning leaves in the village is illegal,
And trash too.
and trash. Also, it's been very windy, so if you don't live in the village, please be careful. Task force, no meeting. Parks Committee.
No,
Coming soon.
coming soon.
There's a theater next to you.
Do we have anybody on the sheet? Mike? Nobody on? Okay, we'll skip public statement. Any council member have a statement they wish to make?
Tommy, when are we gonna get the water tower?
It's a lot more, 2028. No, I'm not sure. I'm trying. Very expensive
It is part of our maintenance agreement.
in 2028, yeah.
Oh.
I'm trying to get it done before then, though.
I don't know, you know, bad.
But when we tried to paint it last time, remember, we lowered the
Power washer.
water
And
and
blew
then
the
blew the
valve.
water main on, yeah, so.
There's no other money. Let's just do that.
Does the fire department have a ladder truck that'll reach that?
Oh, yeah.
Well, they blew the paint off it last time
Oh,
they tried
that's right.
cleaning it.
Yes.
Yeah,
there we
they
go.
put the fire
To
hose
me,
on it
that
and
maintenance
paint
on
it.
that tower wasn't fixed right, that paint job.
Yeah.
I never should have did that.
Tommy, you need a volunteer?
You wanna climb up there? Okay.
Not me.
Phil?
Not naming names.
He's trained in harness.
Really?
I'm not naming names.
Anybody else have a statement they wish to make?
I wanna just thank Laura Greenfelder for that quotes of honor ceremony she put on last week. They honored 4 veterans, Ken Beakey, Frank Herrick, Leo Lucio, and Charles Bussinger. They put on a great, ceremony there to give quotes out to veterans. Cool, yeah. Did a nice job.
Anybody else? All right, village staff reports, police chief. Very first one.
This year, first real one. Alright, so this one's a little bit longer because it's actually a 6-week period instead of a 1 month. But just for my own personal activity, since I've been here, I rejoined the Saginaw County Chiefs Association. That first meeting was the first day I worked here. They're very happy to have Chesapeake back involved. I also took time to meet with all the school principals, whom most of them I already prior to, but I did make a point to step in each building. Spoke with both SROs, and I talk to them on a regular basis now so that we can have cooperation if there is a need for a higher police presence at any of the buildings. I did hold my new Chiefs Forum at Big Rock Coffee. I think that went very well. We probably had about 20, 25 people there. I think half of them were family. But it's nice they came out to support. But I did get some good input from them and responded back on several of the issues that they had brought up. 2 weeks ago, I did attend the Michigan Traffic Safety Summit, which is something I probably attended almost every year for the last 15 years in my prior duties. That was paid for by the Office of Highway Safety Planning due to my status with them. They pay for me to go to that every year. But it's a fantastic opportunity for networking, lots of good classes that we have here. And I did meet with some representatives with the OHSP in their grant writing area, which leads me to the bottom. But before that, I did attend the Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police new chiefs training last week in Okemos, and as part of that, I get a free one-year membership to the Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police, and when I completed that, I learned that I'm the first just named chief that has ever been a member of the Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police. But it's a good organization for training, for helping with just about any issues that may come up in my position. And then I did submit the draft proposal for a traffic safety grant. It's been well over a decade since anybody in Saginaw County has applied for or used any of that grant money. So they're excited to have someone in Saginaw County taking the reins. I wrote it for ourselves and several other larger agencies in the state. I'm still working with them chiefs to see if they even want to partake. So if nobody else wants it, we'll use it. There are mandatory periods involved in that: seatbelt enforcement, speed enforcement, distracted driving, and of course impaired driving. So the beauty of it is we do have to do the mandatory periods set forth by Office of Highway Safety Planning, but as long as we adhere to those mandatory periods, the rest of the grant money we can use for our own. So for instance, speed enforcement, if we're getting calls on Line Street, Liberty Street, wherever, I can assign an officer on a 4-hour overtime block that comes out of the grant, not out of the budget. So that we can have our officers still taking calls and maintaining normal day-to-day in the village, but then we have that second officer that can be out enforcing speed in any problem areas that we identify.
Because that's what that money
Nice.
is primarily supposed to be used for.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's where you get into trouble. A lot of departments in the past will say, oh, I put a second car on today, but no, there is requirements, reporting requirements. That officer being paid for from them grants should be enforcing traffic safety and nothing else.
What about equipment?
No equipment in that grant. There are separate grants for equipment, but that particular grant is manpower only.
Still nice.
It's pie in the sky right now, but the way it's, since I'm going to be the administrator, even though I have the smallest agency in the county, I'm not sure how that's working out, but because I will be administering the grant, I will be reporting all the stats from all the agencies that decide to partake. The village will get 5% of whatever the total grant is for administrative costs. And right now, I've got it worked out. Depending on who stays in or who jumps out, we're looking at about a $100,000 grant right now. So that's $5,000 to the village if we get everybody to jump on board and the grant finally goes through. So,
In addition to our jump, right?
yeah, that's outside. And any of the hours I work, I'm a salaried employee, so them hours go back to the village. We already paid them. So I won't double dip on that, of course. Some things that don't reflect on your report there. I did make the school board meeting last week. Everybody in that room meeting already anyway, but just to let them, just to remind them of my specialized training. I have done trainings for their teachers in the past on recognizing drug impairment in their students and things like that. So just let them know that's still available if they want to partake in that. Also last week, Officer McGregor had resigned down to a part-time. He called me last week. He's resigned fully now. He said he's been very happy sitting at home, not worrying about being a police officer, and I fully understand that. So I told him that any time he gets the itch to call me first, because I would love to have Justin back, even on a part-time basis if he's willing. So also, before I get into the actual specific department activity, after a long, laborious inspection into our K-9 program, I've decided that we're going to pull the plug on our K-9 program here. I looked at just about every facet of it as I could. Yes, there's donations that brought the dog here, but there's expenses above and beyond the donation, and there's annual and weekly expenses involved. If you look at just the fact that I have to give Sergeant Connor a certain number of hours paid off the schedule every pay period to care for the dog, you start adding that up. Them are hours that are not covered by our police department. Or if I wanted to cover them, I'd have to cover them with an overtime shift. And then you look at the back end of it, the amount of calls for service for the K-9 unit just within the village, and I wasn't able to find any real good evidence on that. So when you look at it from a cost-benefit analysis, it's just not worth it. You throw on the extra liability. I've already told Sergeant Connor about that. He's disappointed, but he understands, and he's not fighting it at all, obviously. And I would like to take this opportunity to just kind of recognize Sergeant Connor, because just getting the dog here and the work he did and the work he's done since he's had the dog is commendable. It was an uphill battle, I'm sure, so he put a lot of effort into that, so I want to recognize him for that. And then you just want to stand down with the department activity, go ahead, and if there's any questions, if I can give you any more detail about any of these incidents, just keep in mind, this is not, fortunately, this is not the total number of calls for service we've had since your last meeting. This just highlights some of the investigations and some of the other noteworthy things that that officers and myself have done over the last 6 weeks. But if there's any more detail to any of them that you want me to fill in, and if I can, I will.
To confirm, DOA is dead on arrival.
Yes, sir.
It's the first counterfeiting I've ever seen.
What's that?
It's the first counterfeiting.
Well, yeah, I was shocked by that as well, and Officer Root is doing a fantastic job on that investigation. I'm pretty sure someone's going to prison. I'm very excited about that. I'm sorry, I like it when people go to prison.
Does the Treasury Department get involved?
So, yeah, there will be, but I've had dealings with Secret Service in the past, and, you know, the lower amount, and these are not good counterfeits. These are the Hollywood China, you know, you can buy them on Amazon.
Sure.
So there's a little more to that story, but yeah, someone's going to prison, so that's good.
Well, I've had limited dealings with Officer Root, but he's been very good and professional in all of my experiences.
Glad to have him here. He's very experienced where he came from. He's got great instincts, and he's, I think similar to me, he doesn't like to let people get away with things. So if there's any way he can put a case on somebody lawfully, he's going to do it. So I'm very, very pleased with him.
He's medically trained too.
Yeah, I think he is EMT as well. He came from a Department of Public Service, so I think he's fired EMT and police trained.
And real quick, we did not get new police vehicles.
Oh, no, I didn't want to.
So I don't want to
On the way out, I know it's getting dark. Take a look. I had rebranded the one patrol vehicle. Redetailed. And I'd like to shout out Amy Graphics. They cut me. I think they put pay on me. They cut me in half. So we're gonna get both remaining vehicles that are still kind of subverted markings, and they're gonna be marked the way that one is now.
And the reason for that is we talked to make it more visible for people to be able to find police instead of the stealth look that we had.
Sounds great. It looked great. Or it looks great.
Yeah, I think on the back end, and I know I've said this to Mr. Evanholt, but I don't understand the subdued decaling because what are you sneaking up on? If you're just doing that so that you can hide and catch more speeders or catch more people running stoplights or stop signs, why don't we just mark the cars and then everybody sees us and then they drive properly, right?
Sure.
That's what we want. We
Well,
don't
we're
want
not
tickets.
even writing
we want,
tickets for those
we
either.
want traffic safety. We don't want
We're not writing them. Sure.
Thank you.
How many lockdown drills do you perform at the school?
They do one in each building every.
Each 1 year?
Every
Even
school year.
does the elementary do a lockdown
Yes.
drill? They do.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys just did the middle school.
Yeah,
Yeah, the middle school was last a week ago.
2 Fridays, yeah. I was dropping my daughter off when they were in the middle of it.
So,
It was a little weird.
yeah, it is off.
And she yanked her in, and I thought, what are you doing?
Yeah, so yeah, it's important that we do that because you don't want to figure it out on the fly. That's not one of the things you're like, how to do that again. So.
Thank you very much.
Troy,
Yes, sir.
speed sign, is that still sitting out the village office? I mean,
A trailer?
yeah, the trailer.
Yeah, it's, we've got that at, one of the storage farms at Chibble Park. I saw it.
Does it need work?
Does it work?
It's out.
As far as I know.
That's not the one that's ours. There's one in Oakley. That
Yeah, Oakley,
somebody
you
talked
mean
about. They
your
must
family.
have their own.
I know that, I'm just wondering about the one we bought.
No, we do that.
Yeah, it's still here.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Is
But
there a
I know I
place-
haven't seen it out.
Is there a place you'd like me to put it?
Yeah, on Line Street.
Alright.
John.
Then add it to Front Street.
I'll talk to my guy. Because I have no idea how to set it up, but I'm sure Sergeant Connor does.
If they wanna put it in my yard, they can.
Typical places are Line Street School and Chilbo Park.
Yep.
Crazy.
Do you want me to test it?
Do you run past it and see what we get?
No, I think my truck.
Alright.
Thanks, Troy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Administrator report.
We did officially launch our Text My Gov. So it was in the water bill, we included it in our newsletter in the water bill. There's a number you can sign up for to get alerts on things going on in the village, when water bills are due, if streets are closed. We're gonna use it for a bunch of things. So you can text the number, which is 91896, and then that opts you in. You can opt out at any time. We had 25 people sign up so far. So
26, I just did.
Oh, thank you. Let me change this to 26 people signed up so far. And if we find that we can use it and keep expanding the use on it, it can do endless things. It's a pretty cool tool. We're gonna launch it slowly though to see how it works, and but it gets, I mean, it's in depth, and there's 10,000 uses for it as we find them. You also might be receiving letters in the mail or a postcard in the mail to get your meter changed. We still have some old Rockball meters that we have to manually read, so we're replacing those. So we can read them electronically rather than, you have to go to your house because that takes man hours. And then when we can't get to them, we're estimating, and nobody likes the estimated reads. Actual reads are the way to go. So since March 3rd, we've sent out 60 postcards, and as of today, we've made 30 appointments for changes, and we've changed 11 of them so far. So, I mean, we're humming along on these replacements.
Are these the ones where they have to walk by your house and it's got the button on the outside?
Yeah.
So we're changing out of those, correct? Okay.
To the radio read.
To the radio ones that will automatically read into the office. They come right to the office.
Okay. Have all the postcards been sent out?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so.
We've only sent out 60, and I think we have about 700.
Yeah, because I still have one of those.
But we made a map of all the routes, and we're trying to eliminate, one route at a time.
Sure.
And we've got the water project coming up too yet. The lead water project.
And that was bidded. We had a meeting for it. At the end of that, when we received all those bids, this is for the TMF grant work for the lead line, service line project, so we can investigate and see what each service line material is. We had our bid for it. At the end of the bid, we didn't feel that the winning bid was under the same parameters as the other bids, and so we rebid. And that pre-bid meeting was last week, so we haven't had that next bid yet, but we didn't feel the winning bid was following the same rules as everybody else. And so we were able to rebid it, and we are going to, so we get the work done that we need done. We did not believe that bid was going to, how do I want to say this, cover the work we needed to get done, based on what they did. So, but it was the lowest number. I just didn't think it was so low. I didn't believe we were going to get it.
Sure.
So we rebid it, or we will be rebidding it in 2 weeks. Yeah, that's it.
Will that same company rebid?
They can.
They can.
We just had to.
Did you change the parameters on what you were requiring?
Right.
Okay.
So it's all good. Like they bid what they thought was correct, and it was not when we read back through it, and so we redid it, and it's all good. No problems there. It's a good company. They can rebid. So.
Hey, anybody have anything they wish to bring up on marijuana ordinances? All right.
Motion adjourned.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported to adjourn. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thanks for your